episode of the Format Podcast. So you know what time it is. We got an interesting one for you today. If you're a sports fan in the United States or a basketball fan specifically, then pretty sure you know what we're about to talk about. Yes, sir. Shannon Sharpe and the LA Lakers and LeBron James. This is insane. Anyway, before we get to that, you know what we got to do. Go ahead, if you haven't already, click that subscribe, that like, and that notification bell so you know when new episodes of the show are coming out. So you can be up to date on that and you can be notified. So definitely you want to do that. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, go ahead, hit your audio podcast platform, open up the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, do a little search. We should come up. Make sure you give us that 5-star review. Make sure you leave us a comment on your audio podcast platform and right here on YouTube, and give us, like I said, that 5-star review. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. Definitely want to continue to give you this this good sports talk that we got here. So let's get into it, man. Remember a while back, a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, I did a show about how LeBron James controls the sports media, right? And it is amazing because if you watch the TV show Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe on Fox Sports 1, if you watch, what's the name of that show? I can't remember, but the show with Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, if you watch that show, you know that those are two of the most water-carrying people for LeBron James in the entire sports media, being Nick Wright and Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe just seems to love LeBron James to an inordinate degree. Not sure exactly why. I mean, it's one thing if you're a fan of a player, but if you're a member of the sports media and you love a dude like that and you make it so obvious, so blatant, and you know you're not at all objective when you're discussing sports talk when it comes to that player, it's well, I don't personally agree with it, you know, as a journalist, but that's beside the point here. So anyway, if you are a sports fan and a basketball fan and you know Shannon Sharpe, then you know how much, like I said, he loves LeBron James. But I think it was Friday night, he was at, I guess, the Crypt.com arena, Crypto.com, the Crypt, formerly Staples Center, for a Lakers home game against the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, maybe a couple months ago, Shannon Sharpe had some commentary on the Memphis talking how much they like to bump their gums when they haven't won anything. And there's some truth to that. The Grizzlies are young, they're brash, they're upcoming, very good team, got a superstar leader in John Morant, but they have not won anything, and they do a lot of talking. Anyway, let's get to where LeBron James and Shannon Sharpe comes in. And this is just amazing to me that Shannon Sharpe was really going to take it this far for LeBron. This is insane. So anyway, what happened was during the game, Shannon Sharpe got into it with Dylan Brooks, and then he got into it basically with other members of the Memphis Grizzlies team. And then he even got into it with John Morant's father, T. Morant. How did all this come about? So apparently at one point during the game, Dylan Brooks is attempting to guard LeBron James, and Shannon Sharpe is yelling, "You too small to guard LeBron." At which point, Dylan Brooks yells, "F you." Shannon Sharpe yells, "F you back." And they start to get into it. So Dylan Brooks starts to come towards him. And Shannon Sharpe, these are his quotes, "You don't want these problems." This is what he said to Dylan Brooks. And then Ja came out of nowhere talking. He definitely didn't want these problems. Then the dad came in. He obviously don't want no problems. But I wanted anything they had. Don't let these fools fool you now. Now, this is what I don't get. Shannon Sharpe, you are a Hall of Fame NFL player. You are a generally respected sports pundit and sports TV media member. People generally like to hear what you have to say. They respect what you have to say. You know, you're famous. You've done a lot of great things. But you are going to let this love of LeBron pull you into a crazy situation like that? I can't understand. You were really ready to fight? Now, I know you're a strong dude. You still work out. I know you're a Hall of Fame football player, which means your heart does not pump Kool-Aid. You're not weak at all. You're ready to go. But you in your mid-50s, you got 2 replaced hips. Come on now. Like, are you really getting ready to fight somebody? And this is what I don't understand. Okay, y'all yelling back and forth at each other. What if they had come over there and they really was willing and ready to scrap with you? Like, what sense does that make? Are you really gonna damage your own brand and damage possibly your own future in the sports media? All this because you have to prop up LeBron at every chance you get? Like, this is totally insane. Like, were you gonna roll with these dudes? Were you gonna scrap with them? Like, that's ridiculous. And then talking about they didn't want this smoke. They do all that talking and jockeying, and I ain't about that jockeying. Like, when you say they don't want this smoke, what were you gonna fight them? Come on, man. You're a grown man. Secondly, you're a grown black man. Like, we already know all the stigmas in the media about African American men in this country, right? We can't control ourselves, we animals, this, that, the third, violence, black on black crime, all that. But you're really willing to get into a fight at a basketball game when you are a celebrity and a known commodity and damage your brand and possibly damage your future in this business because you had to stand up for, like, that is so ridiculous to me. Okay, so you guys get into it, you start yelling, you back and forth. It doesn't make any sense, right? So you get into all that. And apparently now Shannon Sharpe and T. Morant end up squashing the quote unquote beef after the game. There's pictures of them hugging each other and basically getting over it. But it should never even have gotten that far, seriously. And again, the problem is, for me, this is where it gets to it. Like, is LeBron really worth all this? Like, this dude's control over the media is absolutely insane. Like, he's literally got dudes in the media ready to fight over his name. That is bonkers. Quick aside. Bringing up LeBron. Why does this guy feel like no one can talk trash to him? This is basketball, right? This is basketball. If somebody talks trash to you, do what Mike would have done to him. Give him that evil eye, go out and give him 40 or 50, whatever it may be. Why do you feel that you're above that and nobody can say anything to you? Like, are you that mentally weak that you get upset? Oh, this is beyond hoops. He talking trash. He just being disrespectful. I'm gonna tell you, last month time, dog. That's what LeBron was saying to Dylan Brooks and the rest of these guys out here. Like, they're talking, and this isn't the first time LeBron has gotten upset because guys have talked trash to him. Like, this is basketball. Anybody who's been on the court knows that there's trash talk. Sometimes the trash talk can get out of hand, but you are a billionaire. You're in the NBA. I mean, really? Seriously? You're supposed to be the GOAT, and you getting upset because somebody talking trash to you. How about you go destroy them and make them never want to talk to you again? That's the easy way to handle it. But you really feel like somebody should not be able to say anything to you. That is so soft and so ridiculous. And I'm just utterly disgusted by the whole situation. And honestly, I can't wait to hear what Shannon Sharpe has to say on Undisputed tomorrow morning or today or whenever it is you're listening to it in regards to this issue, or if they'll even touch it. I hope they will, because I'm really curious to know. I mean, like I've said, it's insane the way LeBron controls the media and how he's got people carrying the water for him. JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins and Nick Wright and Shannon Sharpe and these guys, like, they almost lose their minds over this guy and trying to defend him. I've seen guys go on TV and literally be near crying. Nick Wright at times is near crying trying to defend LeBron because he gets upset when people say things that he doesn't like. LeBron is on the court out there hooping and he's upset because people talk trash to him. That's real mentally weak to me. And this is just another reason why I say, number one, he's not the greatest of all time. Number two, he would be a very different player if he played back in the day. I don't think that all this stuff he's getting away with now is like come on. First of all, you out here, LeBron, telling dudes, this is the last MF in time. I'm gonna tell you, dog, like, you tough. You've been in the league 20 years and we haven't seen you have one tough moment yet. Come on, man. Are you serious? You'd have got your block knocked off back in the day. And that's not me being a hater. That's me having seen dudes get into it, right? When Larry Bird talked to dudes, we knew Larry Bird was tough for real because his teammates would tell you, his opponents would tell you. We saw him get into it, fisticuffs with Dr. J. We saw him get into it with Barkley. Like, these dudes would go out. Charles Barkley was tough. Karl Malone was tough. These dudes, Charles Oakley was tough. The Davis brothers, tough. Like, these dudes will go at it with you. Shaq, Derek Coleman, all these cats, right? LeBron, you're not tough. Don't talk like you're tough, okay? If you was that tough, you wouldn't need everybody to carry your water for you. Anyway, back to Shannon Sharpe. Look how LeBron drives me crazy. I could go off on a tirade and a rant about him. But he is the main reason for this. But anyway, Shannon, I'm really disappointed in how you behaved as a sports media personality, a sports pundit, a Hall of Famer in your chosen sport, and as an African American man in America. Like, that was really disappointing that was the way you were going to get into it. Now, it would have been one thing if they came over there and tried to physically accost you. Then by all means, I am always the proponent of, if someone attempts to physically accost you, you have the right to defend yourself. I'm never the person that's going to say, I'm not the turn the other cheek guy. Now, I admire someone who can do that, and I respect that, but that's not me. If you are physically accosted, you have the right to defend yourself. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. You were literally calling for basketball players 20 years younger than you, 30 years younger than you, to come over there and try to fight. And then afterwards, you had the nerve to say they didn't want this smoke. Come on, man. That was really disappointing. You can do better than that. So what I want to hear from you is, what do you think about this? Leave a comment in the comment section. Am I wrong on this? Am I wrong on my take on how LeBron controls the media? Am I wrong on my take on my disappointment in how Shannon Sharpe reacted to this thing? Go ahead, leave your comments in the comment section. Love to hear from you. And I'm out. Peace.